Do you know that we can apply a more cinematic look and feel to our images or portrait inside of Affinity by using the Gaussian Blur filter effect? So in this video, we'll be looking at how to apply or give our images or portrait a cinematic look and feel by using the Gaussian Blur filter in Affinity. So before starting, if you want to follow along with this tutorial, please find the link for the image in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please hit the subscribe button for more helpful tips and tricks related to Affinity. Now with that said, let's get started with the video. So to give our image a more cinematic look and feel, first of all, we'll simply open our Finder window. And after opening the Finder window, we'll simply open the landscape subject image that we have inside of Affinity. So for that, I'll simply click and drag the file of the image that we have inside of the Affinity UI to open it. And now after opening the portrait, I'll simply use the shortcut key of Command plus minus in order to fit our image to the screen and have a clear view of it. And the next thing that we'll be doing is simply changing the name of our background layer inside of the layers panel. So for that, I'll simply double click on the text of our background layer and then rename it to portrait just for organization purposes. And now after renaming our landscape image layer to portrait, the next thing that we'll be doing is applying a Gaussian blur filter effect. So to apply the Gaussian blur filter effect, we'll simply select the pixel menu. From within the pixel menu, we'll select the option called New Live Filter Layer, select the other option called Blur, and then select the option called Gaussian in order to apply the Gaussian Blur filter effect. Now, after applying the Gaussian Blur filter effect, you'll be able to see that we have the live Gaussian Blur box popped up. And just for the information, using the live Gaussian Blur effect this way is a very good and best practice since it allows us to apply the Gaussian blur effect non-destructively inside of our project or composition, and we can come back and visit our composition or project anytime later in the future and make changes accordingly as per our preference. Now, after applying the Gaussian blur effect, the next thing that we'll be doing is increasing the radius value. So I'll simply click on the radius value and then increase the radius value like so. So I want a radius value of the Gaussian blur effect to a maximum of maybe to somewhere at, let's say, 56.6 pixel for now. And after applying the radius value for the Gaussian blur to 6.6 pixel, you can see that our image now is all blurry. Now we want to change that, which can be done later in the future steps. And the next thing that you can see here is when we have applied the Gaussian blur effect to our portrait layer, the edges are also all transparent. So we want to fix that, and we can fix the edges to make it not transparent by simply checking the option called preserve alpha. Now you can see that after checking the option called preserve alpha, all the information and details on the edges of our portrait has been retained and recovered. Now we'll simply close the live Gaussian blur box in order to commit the effect of the Gaussian blur filter. Now the next thing that we'll be doing is uncollapsing the portrait layer within our layers panel and then simply clicking and dragging the Gaussian blur layer on top of the portrait layer like so. Now after clicking and dragging the Gaussian blur layer on top of the portrait layer, you can see that we have successfully separated both of these layers from the original portrait layer that we have. Now the next thing that we'll be doing is changing the blend mode of the Gaussian blur layer that we have recently separated within the layers panel. So for that, we'll simply click on the blend mode option right here. And after clicking on the blend mode option, you can see that we have various options of blend mode. Just to make sure that the effect is much more visible, I'll be selecting an option called hard mix since it would be much more defined. And after selecting the option of hard mix, you can see that right now the effect is not looking much more appropriate. So in order to control it, we'll simply select the cog icon of blend options by actively selecting the Gaussian blur effect or the new Gaussian blur layer that we have recently created. And after clicking on the cog icon, you can see an option called field opacity. Let us simply decrease the value of fill opacity. So I'll simply set the value manually to 2% for this. And after setting the value to 2%, I'll simply close the blend option box now. And we can check the before and after as well by simply clicking on the toggle visibility icon. So this was the before and this is the after. So there's a bit subtle difference only this time. However, we'll be able to clearly check the difference later on. So the next thing that we'll be doing is we'll simply renaming the Gaussian blur layer once more. So in order to rename it, we'll simply double click on the text of the Gaussian blur layer and rename it to blur 1. And after renaming it to blur 1, next, I'll be simply creating a copy of the blur 1 layer that we have recently applied. So to make the copy, I'll use the shortcut key of Command plus J and I'll be making 2 copies of it. So after making 2 copies, I'll again rename it for organization purposes. So I'll rename the second copy to blur 2 and then rename the third copy to blur 3. And now after renaming it, the next thing that we'll be doing is like before, we'll select the blur 2 layer first and then select the cog icon to access the blend options. And this time we'll set the value by increasing a bit more to somewhere at 4% for fill opacity and close the blend option box. Similarly, we'll again select the blur 3 layer once more within our layers panel and then again select the cog icon to access the blend option. And this time we'll change the value of fill opacity to somewhere at 6%. And after changing the value of fill opacity to 6%, we'll again close the blend option box to commit. Next, we'll select the portrait layer that we have recently opened inside of the Affinity layer. And after selecting the portrait layer actively, we'll navigate to the top and from the contextual taskbar, we'll select the option called Canva AI and then select the option called select subject in order to make the selection of our subject. So now it is processing. So let us give it few more times in order to process it. Now you can see that it has made a rough selection of our subject. So after making the selection of our subject from this image, the next thing that we'll be doing is navigating to the top and selecting the pixel menu. After selecting the pixel menu, we'll select the option called pixel selection. From within the pixel selection, we'll select the option called grow shrink. So we want to expand the selection of the subject. And in order to expand, we'll simply increase the radius value to somewhere at maybe 45.6 pixel for now. And then check the checkbox called circular in order to smooth out our selection. And now in order to commit, I'll simply hit the apply button. Now after clicking on the apply button, you can see that it has made a pretty much good selection. And now we'll simply select the blur 1 layer from within the layers panel and then click on the mask layer icon beneath the layers panel in order to mask out the blur 1 layer that we have. Now you can see that it has successfully masked out and created a new mask thumbnail. Now the next thing that we'll be doing is we'll simply deselect the selection by using the shortcut key of Command plus D. And if you're using Windows, you can use the shortcut key of Control plus D. And similarly, we'll repeat this step for the other layer as well in order to clear a hierarchy of Gaussian blur effect that will be applied to our portrait layer inside of the layers panel. So now I'll simply select the portrait layer again. And after selecting the portrait layer, like before, I'll select the Canva AI icon and then select the option called select subject. Now let us wait for a moment and give it a bit of time to process. I'll skip to the end to the point where it has made the selection. So it has processed quickly this time and made the selection of our subject. And this time, what we will be doing is similar to before. We'll select this pixel menu from the top and within the pixel menu, we'll again select the pixel selection option and select the option called grow shrink. And after selecting the option called grow shrink, we'll simply click on the radius slider and then increase the radius value like so to somewhere at 136.8 pixel maybe or maybe a bit lower value. So I'll select the value to somewhere at 114.6 pixel for this and click or check the circular checkbox in order to smooth out our selection. Now in order to apply, I'll hit the apply button And this time, like before, we'll again select the blur to layer and then select the option or icon called mask layer beneath the layers panel in order to mask out the blur to layer. Now, after it has been masked out, we'll simply use the shortcut key of Command plus D in order to deselect our selection. And similarly, we'll again repeat this step like so. So for that, we'll again select our portrait layer. And after selecting the portrait layer, we'll select or choose the Canva AI icon from the contextual bar. And after selecting the Canva AI icon, we'll again select the option called Select Subject in order to make the selection of our subject. So I'll skip the processing of the subject selection. So now it has made the selection. So similar to before, again we'll be selecting the pixel option or pixel menu from the top and then select the option called pixel selection. And from the pixel selection option, we'll select the other option called grow shrink. And now after selecting the option called grow and shrink, we'll simply increase the radius value to somewhere at maybe 191.2 pixel for this and then check the circular checkbox. So now you can see that it has smoothed out our selection after checking the circular checkbox and then again hit on apply button in order to commit. Now it has made the selection of our subject and similar to before, we'll again repeat the step of selecting the blur 3 layer and then click on the mask layer icon beneath the layers panel in order to apply the mask to our Gaussian blur 3 layer. Now, after applying the mask, similar to before, we'll simply use the shortcut key of Command plus D in order to deselect our selection. And if you are using Windows, you can use the shortcut key of Control plus D in order to deselect the selection. Now you can see that it has already given that cinematic look and feel. So the next thing that we can do is simply click on the blur 1 layer from within the layers panel and hold down the shift key and then click on the blur 3 layer to select all of the 3 Gaussian blur layer that we have applied and then use the shortcut key of Command plus G in order to group them into one folder. Now you can see that it has successfully grouped them into one folder. Now the next thing that we'll do is simply double click on the text and rename it to Gaussian Blur. Gaussian Blur. And after renaming the group folder to Gaussian Blur, we can check the before and after. So this was the before and this now is the after. So you can see that it has applied a soft cinematic look and feel to our images. So you can also apply the same effect to your portrait or images as well to give a cinematic and dramatic look and feel like this. And you can also play around with any blend modes from this option right here for your particular portrait or image as per your preference. So now this is how you can apply a cinematic or dramatic look and feel to any of your portrait or images by using the Gaussian filter inside of Affinity. So if you find this video helpful, please click on the like button. And for more helpful tips and tricks related to Affinity, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video and see you on the next one.